The Employee by Greg Howard. Narrated by Greg Howard. Freedom is the freedom to say that 2 plus 2 make 4. If that is granted, all else follows. George Orwell, 1984. The sun was beaming high in the sky, and every once in a while, a cloud of dust would blow by and accompany a melody. A small two-headed salamander, soaking up heat on a large stone, turned his head toward the hole and listened to the words flowing into the open sky. The song went up and down in volume, imperfect yet beautiful at once. The salamander danced its two heads. The giant bird flying high in the sky went unnoticed. Suddenly, the salamander found himself with a new point of view, along with the song becoming more and more faint the further he soared into the sky. The song continued. Chop away the dirt and clay. One day you will find the shiniest diamond in the entire mine. Now it's time to peel away the earth's rind and find. The song trailed to a soft stop along with the sound of the pick. What's this here? I looked down on the dry, stony ground. 'Tis an odd color. I scrubbed my whiskers and grabbed the oil lantern and brought it to my face along with the heavy stone. I peered at it, trying to see its reflectivity. After a moment of inspection, I tossed it aside. Garbage color. That ain't copper. I hung the lantern back up and started to swing the pickaxe again and noticed my grip was weakening. I stopped swinging the pick for a moment and rubbed my left hand. It's got to be close to Quinn time. I took in a deep breath and pulled up the pick once again and swung it against a different stone poking out of the surface. Each swipe chipping another chunk off its top. Another meter down, another day nearly finished, in 3 weeks no copper. Suddenly the air raid siren pierced my eardrums, marking quitting time. Thank God. I then placed down the pick, put on my backpack, grabbed the oil lantern, and made my ascent. An extra meter to climb today, hands. Looking up at the pinhole of sunlight from above, I winced in pain as I grabbed at the next rung. Then I began to sing. Now we broke the last stone of the day. It is time to go away. Pack on back, to the boss I go. Hope he grins when I show. I made my way to the surface. Chapter 2. Clock Out. Almost there. I was paying heavily, and I could feel the heat amplify the closer I approached the surface. Forever daylight, forever on the day shift, I muttered mockingly. I grimaced as I heaved myself out of the hole and was greeted by a blast of wind and grit. I stood and made my way toward the encampment. I stopped and looked at my cracked hands that were bleeding. I spit on the palms and rubbed them together like it was a healing salve. Better than wasting water rations. Got more spit than water, that's for sure. I looked up and then made a 360-degree twirl to see my surroundings before letting out a long sigh and continued to walk. Just a stony yard with a large gray wall. Nothing new here. I licked my lips. Man, I'm thirsty. I approached the concrete corner and I noticed that my A-frame tent had collapsed from high winds, leaving my sleeping bag and wood pillow exposed. Damn it! I threw my backpack on the ground along with the pick, hung the lantern on a concrete hook, and set the tent back up. I swear, every day the wind blows this tent to splinters. I headed over to a kiosk, melded into the corner of the wall. Once there, I pushed a copper button, and a keyboard slid out. I typed in the employee number and pushed enter. The computer beeped, booped, and clicked. The black screen flashed a series of green binary numbers signaling warm-up mode. After a moment, a question appeared at the center screen. Good evening, employee 2487. On a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being the worst and 5 being the best, how optimistic are you feeling today? 5, of course. I typed the number and punched enter. Optimism every day, I sneered. Since I woke up here, maybe years ago, all I've seen is a concrete wall, the kiosk, and a sign that read, "Dig here," with a pick beside it. Over time, pallets would be parachuted down with food rations, more ladder material, picks, and other necessities for digging, but never a person. A sharp beep from the screen broke my attention, and a large slot near the kiosk opened up, and a new green worded message displayed. Place backpack in loading bin, please. I grunted and did as told. Knowing the pack was empty, the slot automatically closed, and a sifting sound was heard before the bin opened back up, exposing once again the backpack. I took it out. A new message displayed. Copper obtained 0 kilograms. Yep, that's right. Aren't you smart? I hit the machine lightly with my hand. Not like I was digging for the fun of it. The computer made a shrill beep, then displayed a new message. 7 out of 7 days with 0 copper. Supervisor Sanderson will perform a company work performance tomorrow at 0900. Have a great evening. Omdi Industries. I choked as I swallowed air. The computer retracted back into the concrete wall without a seam. I stood there, mouth agape and eyes wide. Supervisor Sanderson is coming to see me? I could feel my heart pound my rib cage. 7 days, no copper. My hands went to my hair. Suddenly, a canister slid down the wall into a slot with a thud. Great timing for dinner. I feel sick. My stomach gurgled. I opened the metallic lid and smelled it. A briny odor wafted into the air and drifted up my nostrils as I pulled the green mush to my lips and gagged it down, making sure to drink every last drop while not vomiting. After dinner, I placed the empty canister in the slot. It was sucked away and quickly replaced. Bastards cut the water rations again, I shouted, hands shaking, face red. I clumsily opened the round lid and started to gulp it down until the thought of Sanderson made my stomach churn. I'll save this for later. I closed the lid, stood, and hobbled over to a concrete pad housing an orange chest. I opened it up and stripped down, folded the grimy plaid bun up, the sun-faded blue jeans, cracked leather boots, belt, hole-ridden knee-high con socks, goggles, and then deposited them inside before closing it. I lurched over to the tent, dropped to my bony knees and hands, then crawled into the triangular opening. I collapsed onto a burlap bag and rested my head on a smooth slab of wood. Oh God, that feels good, I groaned. Laying on my back, licking my chapped lips, my eyes became weighted over the thought of Supervisor Sanderson. The sun was hung bright as ever in the cloudless sky. Before I knew it, I fell into a dreamless slumber. Chapter 3, Retirement Day. The workday réveillé began. Good morning to you too, you loud bastard! I rubbed grit out of my eyes and laid there momentarily, staring at the burlap ceiling, watching it flap in the hot wind. I stretched my arms and legs and crawled out of the tent. I found the water bottle and took a sip, smacking my lips. That hits the spot. I slowly made my way to the chest and pushed the copper button. The chest activated and emitted a whirring sounds before stopping. The lid sprang open. A new week, a new set of clothes, just in time for meeting the supervisor. I trembled at the thought, took another sip of water, walked toward the kiosk, and typed my employee number 2487. I pushed enter. The computer beeped and booped before displaying a message. Good morning, 2487. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst and 5 being the best, how optimistic do you feel today? 5. Always 5. I muttered and typed it in. The machine made some more mechanical noises before displaying another message. Thank you. Supervisor Sanderson will arrive at 9 a.m. No need to work today. Enjoy breakfast. OMD Industries. The computer retracted back into the wall. A slot opened next to it, and an air-sucking sound was heard along with a thud. I grabbed the canister and began to eat breakfast. With Sanderson on my mind, I struggled to choke down the green sludge. I paused and gazed at the sun at zenith. Suddenly, I heard a sound, and my left hand convulsed. A door formed and opened to the left of the kiosk, accompanied by a flood of light, revealing the silhouette of a tall figure. As the doors closed, the apparition took shape. A tall man in a black business suit, plain-featured yet handsome. The man extended out an arm with a smile before speaking. Hello, Mr. 2487. Pleased to meet you. I am Supervisor Sanderson. He gave me a glance from head to toe, his smile shifting to a grimace. Are you well, old boy? The bile coming up my throat forced me to stop. He took a step back and then glanced at the folder in his hand. Well, 2487, I am sure you have many questions. He made a thin smile and with an open hand pointed at the wall. A concrete desk unfolded from it with a bench on each side. Shall we? He walked energetically toward it as I crumpled over and let some saliva run out of my mouth. I stood straight and gulped more water. Mr. 2487, will you please take a seat so we can get started on your review? I stepped forward awkwardly to the bench opposite of Mr. Sanderson, hesitated, then took a seat. He opened up the folder and thumbed through it. I see. He paused, briefly. The pain in my left hand amplified. 2487, I see that you have been with the company longer than the average employee. He chuckled. We at OMD Industries thank you for your genuine commitment. A smile went from ear to ear on his smooth face. Today is a special day for you, 2487, I bet you didn't know that. He grabbed a sheet of paper from the file and slid it to me upside down and looked at me. Ha! Well, don't be so coy, Mr. 2487. Flip it over. I looked at him, then back down at the sheet of white paper. Flipping it over, I saw the OMD Industries logo with a large smiley face and a message. Thank you for 10 years and 4 months of service. What is this? I didn't know what to say. I was trying not to puke in his face as he stared at me. Of course, 2487. It's employees like you that keep OMD Industries' future bright. Ignoring my question, he started to thumb through the file until he landed on a page. The copper you have extracted has helped us build quality products to customers across the cosmos. Cosmos? I muttered dimly. Yes, Cosmos, 2487. He flipped to another page in the file. I am confused. Mr. Sanderson, why are you giving me this? I held up the smiley face to him. I'm sure you have many questions, 2487, and we will get to all those soon after the review. Review? What kind of review? I choked. Mr. Sanderson dropped the smile and made a plain face. Just a standard boilerplate evaluation. He adjusted his tie. Typically, the evaluation is performed at the 10-year mark, but you reported high levels of optimism consecutively for 10 years straight. He flipped to another piece of paper in the folder. So, we allowed you to work an additional 4 months. A large smile beamed across his face as he looked at me in the eyes. 10 years and 4 months? I strained to talk as my vision became blurry. It will all be explained in the video. Mr. Sanderson pulled out another piece of paper and began to look at it. Yes, for an entire decade, you have reported the utmost optimism, 2487, he said as he put the paper down. I must ask, what kept you so optimistic? His eyes were now piercing into my soul. Gosh, hearing that I chose the same option for 10 years straight sounds crazy when I hear it out loud, I thought. The sun felt hotter, and my hand was twitching with fervor. I tried to calm it down by massaging it under the bench where Mr. Sanderson wouldn't notice, searching for words. Well, I take pride in my work. Finding that copper has become a passion of mine, sir. I lied. Mr. Sanderson kept eyeing me without a word or movement for a solid minute before speaking. Well, please continue, 2487. There must be more to it. You're a damn inspiration. I jolted at the touch as he slapped my shoulder. Well, I'm happy to hear that, I said nervously before continuing. The beautiful weather can keep a fella pretty optimistic here too, I added with a slight chuckle. I was burning up, yet I noticed that Sanderson didn't have a bead of sweat on his face. Well, gee whiz, I've never thought about that way. He looked away at the sky with his hand on his chin for a moment, then looked back at me. The sun always shines on the day shift, right? He gave an incredulous chuckle that made my spine shiver from the top of my head to my tailbone. Yes, I guess you could say that. I tried to force a smile. No rain here either. Just the sun and dust all day long. I thought maybe that didn't seem too cheery after saying and hearing it out loud. With free lodging, food, and water in your belly, what more can a fella ask for, right? He added, smiling tediously. I paused a moment. Yes, sir. What more can a fella ask for? I looked down sorrowfully and tried to calm the reignited left hand. Mr. Sanderson gave me a concerned look. Well, retirement for one. That's something a fella might ask for. He flipped through the file, then pulled out another piece of paper. And that's something that you're qualified for, 2487. He laughed. What you think about that, pal? I gave him a blank face. Oh boy, 2487, you are in for a treat. He stood more erect in his chair and adjusted his tie energetically. You have basically won the lottery, my friend. He leaned in uncomfortably close to me. His cologne was suffocating my senses. Retirement equals no more work. Finito amigo. Done. You can get out of here and go enjoy that life you have been working towards all these years. I didn't understand what he was saying. It was too much. My hands shook. My nose burned. My stomach churned. And my skin felt aflame. I thought I might pass out right then and there from Sanderson's words. I managed to sputter my cracked lips a few inaudible words. Yes, that's the beauty of retirement, my friend. You are free to go. We just need you to watch a short video and sign a form. I looked around my surroundings. This felt like a joke, a gag. Over 10 years of mining the same hole in the ground. Now, I'm free to go do what? I thought in disbelief. Sanderson pushed a large copper button, and a screen emerged from the wall. It turned on. Suddenly, a large logo reading OMD Industries appeared in the center of the screen and remained there for a moment. No! Look at the screen. Not me, dear sir. That's where you will get all your info. He pointed at the monitor. I turned my head and watched as the logo dissipated and was replaced with large yellow words. Retirement. The screen flashed to an office setting. Mr. Sanderson appeared, speaking in a cheery voice. Mr. 2487, we are here today to commemorate your decade plus at OMD Industries. With hard work comes reward, and we are pleased to announce that retirement day is upon you. We are pleased to introduce your new life. A scene of a beautiful beach with rolling ocean waves was shown with an aerial view of a 3-story villa. This is all for me, Mr. Sanderson? He looked at me with an ear-to-ear grin. Yes, sirree, Bob. It's all for you. Here at OMD, hard work gets rewarded, Mr. 2487. He slapped my shoulder again. Or should I call you Mr. Brightside now? He laughed, pulling out another sheet of paper and a pen. I had no clue this was part of the deal. I tried sputtering words from excitement. Where do I sign the paperwork, sir? I reached for his folder as he pulled it away. Now, hold on there, partner. I was just now getting to that. The scene on the screen ended, and the OMD Industries logo appeared again. Mr. Sanderson pushed the copper button, and the screen shut off and retracted back into the wall. He slid a piece of paper to me along with the gold pen. Like I said, this is just your standard retirement form. It just states that we are not responsible for you outside these walls. He looked up to make sure I was listening. That is, once you leave for your new life. He adjusted his tie and then pointed at the line on the paper, tapping it twice with his index finger. Just sign there, Mr. 2487. After that, you're free to go. I looked down at the line and wondered about all the other words. What? What about the rest of it? What does it all mean? I asked. Oh, that stuff is all just a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo, liability clauses, etc. Most employees just sign it without reading all the boring legal matter. He started to pick something from under his thumb. Feel free to read the whole document, 2487. I have all the time in the world. I looked up at him, then back down at the paper. After a moment's thought, I clicked the pen. Excellent! Mr. Sanderson stood abruptly from the bench and held out his hand. Congratulations, 2487. You are free to live life to your fullest. His toothy smile flashed. I looked at his clean hand with spotless nails. I then looked at my own calloused hands before shaking his. My stomach turned sour. A noise could be heard on the opposite end of the square yard where a door opened. I stared at it. Is that where I go for retirement? Yes, 2487. That is the exit. You are free to go. Everyone here at OMD Industries, thank you. He put his hand on my upper back and gave me a slight nudge toward the opening. I started to walk toward it. I made it a few paces before stopping and turning my head toward my encampment, and then over to Mr. Sanderson. Enjoy your retirement, Mr. 2487. I assure you that you will not be needing those old things anymore. Or anything for that matter. I turned and hobbled toward the exit with a new sense of purpose. The taste of freedom on my lips. I could smell the beach. Feel the ocean spray on my skin. I sang. Pick, pick, pick. Swing, swing, swing. Chop away the dirt and clay. One day you will find the shiniest diamond in the entire mine. I stepped into the glowing beam of light, my glee ripped away by a sharp pain in the center of my forehead. A high-pitched tone screamed as my skin caught fire. White swallowed everything. Behind me, the kiosk activated, and a mechanical whirring noise began to be made. A large slot opened up, and a cylinder plopped down with a large thud. The kiosk began to make a series of beeps and boops before letting out loud robotic speech. Welcome, employee 2488. Work as hard as your predecessor. Fini. Author's note.